Merry
Christmas!
We love you all. Given how much you all raved about the stuffed mushrooms, we wanted to give you a little treat and do a video of my dad making the stuffed mushrooms. So
all right.
Enjoy. We're gonna get started.
Let's
we
get
love
to
you
it.
all.
Let's get to it. Woo!
Now,
I think basically that's it.
Can we just set it up so it's time lapse photography?
So you don't have to hear anything. So all you can just watch me
It'll
move
just
like
be
a
watching you.
like a
Voyeurism.
Benny Hill skit. Yeah, I'll do that.
God bless you, merry gentlemen. Let nothing in you sway.
Sway.
Because Christ our Savior was born
Alrighty.
on Christmas Day.
We want you to know that it's only
To save us
5:15
all
in the
from
afternoon.
Satan's power.
just to give everyone perspective here.
Context.
We know it's dark out. Okay, so Dad, you want to map out the ingredients here?
Oh, okay. So
Obviously.
you have your 12-inch fry pan. You have your olive oil and teriyaki. The secret. Well, we can't have that in the beginning.
Oh, well,
Gotta edit
it's-
that out.
It's there. This is family, Dad.
Allison already guessed it.
This is family.
She didn't guess it. You told her.
No, she guessed
Somebody told her. No, she didn't. Nobody guessed it.
She guessed it. She
right.
did.
All right. Okay. All right.
it. Or I told her and she said she knew it or something.
Oh, there you go. That's more like it. That's more like it. That's more like it. So we got a little Parmesan cheese, some Italian breadcrumbs, portobello mushrooms, some bella mushrooms to cook with that, stuff it with it, onions, garlic, zucchini, and red pepper. And we're gonna cook it all up for you
Awesome.
today. That's right. Now first, cut your onion up. You just want to dice it. Nice even pieces. Don't get crazy about it because it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
So it's going in that stuffing mixture. And yes, that is a Steelers chef hat.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I do have a Steelers apron, but I thought maybe that might be too much.
Too much, yeah. I like the cocktail one, it's fun.
Maybe we should have had these prepped ahead of time, so like Emerald, and he just throws it in there. He's got the sous chefs and the preps. And
Right, had it all out in bowls.
Yeah, and he becomes a hero. All he does is say bam. All right.
I'm sure they've stopped watching at this point. No, I'm just kidding.
What?
They're like, wait, where's the recipe? We'll just do that.
Okay. We just chop some onion, and without chopping my fingers off,
Yeah.
I will chop some garlic. Ow, just kidding.
I think the key is also a finely sharpened knife as well. I think that contributes to the...
Yeah, well, if you knew, a dull knife is more dangerous in a kitchen than a sharp knife. Okay.
Absolutely.
So, but he wants to be stabbed with a blunt object. Best to be sharp. Cuts right through. There you go. Just dice it up. Nobody's measuring anything. We don't need any measuring going on here.
We'll do our best to put measurements in the
Oh, we're
actual
gonna-
recipe.
we are.
Just to give people an idea. Not everyone can just wing it, Dad.
Got one onion, a couple cloves of garlic, and olive oil.
Absolutely.
Swirl it around.
The swirl is key.
There you go. That's probably maybe 2 tablespoons. I don't know. I'm not measuring.
Right.
You can measure later.
People.
Medium.
AKA Renata.
Medium.
Yeah.
Put it
She measures.
on medium heat. Just let it get to a shimmer. Okay, there's a lot of other variables going on here. We have our mushrooms here that we're going to have done uncrate. Unpack. We'll have to take them out of the package.
Yes.
Oh, you don't just cook them in it.
No, we don't cook them in the package. There's a lot of things going on here. Makeup! All right. So what we do with these is these little black gills in here. They can make it really bitter and make it really dark. So we like to take them out of here before we. I use a dessert spoon, tablespoon, and we just go around the edges.
Very lightly, just
Yep,
kind of
very
scraping
lightly.
those out.
Scraping them out. If you don't have a disposal, you can put them in your compost, but we here in the flatlands have disposals,
Yeah.
as Alan calls it, the flatlanders.
We'll always be the Flatlanders. That's for sure.
You just come around, nice and easy.
Betty said that Alan's dad Tom used to say that it's bad to put stuff down there. The garbage disposals.
Really?
I remember, Betty, you said that about those.
I saw an internet sort of blurb or whatever that comes across my feed, and it was like what not to put down in the garbage disposal. I was like, that'd be interesting.
Shells?
I should know, right? And it's like, don't put peels, don't put don't put fruit rinds, don't put your apples down there. Best to compost those. And I'm like, what can I put down my garbage disposal then? I mean, why do we even have a garbage disposal? So it's like, I'm putting everything down there. Everything goes down. Except mussel shells, right, Alan?
And they go right through, John. They go right through.
Mussel shells go right through.
Go right through. This thing it's heavy duty.
And how do we know that mussel shells don't go down to
Well,
garbage
because
disposals?
we tried it one time.
I don't think we have to. We're adding onions.
We're adding onions.
You want to get back to
Back
this
to the-
here?
Back to the film.
No need to talk about mussel shells down the garbage disposal.
The same.
No.
No need for that.
Ooh, look at this. Very fancy.
I'm gonna leave you one here.
Smells good.
I was gonna come help, but I'm
Right,
not going to.
that's all it is. As soon as an onion and garlic touches that stove,
You just got to get these going until they, you get them on medium heat. You get them going a little bit until they get a little translucent, probably about 4 or 5 minutes. If you want
Okay.
to cut the video, we can cut the video now and come back for in 4 or 5 minutes, and I can add the next few ingredients.
Okay.
If not, this is not like Emerald where they, everything's here and it's done, and I
Right.
pull
Right.
the whole thing out of the oven and it's done.
right.
This is real life.
This is
here.
45 minutes of cooking television.
And you know what? And I don't
We
blame you.
can't
I don't blame
sponsor
you after.
nothing, man.
I do not
45
blame
minutes.
anyone after 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes to shut this off and just read the recipe. I get it. I get it. Who wants to take a
All right.
man in a Steelers chef hat seriously? I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
understand.
This is how it's done. What do you got cooking in that the super pot
Alan
over
wanted
there?
the Yankee pot roast.
The Yankee
and,
pot roast for
we got
the
a Yankee pot roast going here. It's almost
New
done,
England
actually.
game. We got the Yankee pot roast.
There'll be a little dramatic stuff going on here. We're going to release the pressure soon. And you will see a sort of like a geyser going off like Old Faithful.
It's frightening.
Quite.
Quite.
Taking a
And it'll be ready to eat, actually. But we're not going to eat it because we're making a video
yes.
of cooking other stuff.
Right.
Now, I've already started to preheat my oven at 350 degrees. And the onions are starting to get themselves nice and caramelized. Not caramelized.
Can we get a close up of those
Translucent.
onions?
Translucent.
Why don't you take a picture of the onions so they know what they look like?
I did. I certainly got one, but
Get
I'll
rid
get
of it.
another one. Just.
Get right up there.
Did you
Put it right
get
up
a
there.
picture of the
Magic.
mushrooms, what they look like when
Oh,
they're
that's a good call. Yeah.
degilled?
Yeah. So you can still see the sides of them are still intact, so that they can hold the stuffing. So you're just really getting in the insides of them.
Yep. And then, this is something I like to do with the pepper. I like to chop it up.
Good, because we were all wondering if that was going to be chopped or not.
We're not going to throw it in there. Okay, see the seats? You take the seats off. Now, there is one thing I do like to show people. Maybe you're aware of it, maybe you're not. But right here, this stuff here, the spine, I guess, it's bitter. And what I like to do is I like to take off that spine, that bitterness, and get rid of it because it can really give you an off-putting taste in your, oh, we don't need that here, but yes, it can give you an off-putting taste in your food, so.
Look at those knife skills.
My nails clean? No, I know.
Who knows? My storage might just go. All right, you're done. You're at capacity.
Yeah, so we're just gonna do this. We're just gonna
Cupping all that.
dice up one pepper.
Mm.
So I don't have a measurement of how many cups that is, because again, here at Hearth and Harp, we don't measure. You might be wondering why we call it Hearth and Harp. You'll find out. Yep. There we go. You're gonna add these in here with the onions that have been going for, I don't know, like maybe 5 or 6 minutes. And we're gonna add the garlic and the peppers in there.
Nice. Mmm.
That smells so good.
It does already.
Okay, so you just want to mix this up.
Showing off a little for the camera.
Well, that's what I do. I mean, I'm trying to be an influencer.
You are an influencer.
The original influencer, folks.
Exactly.
Now we're gonna take one zucchini, medium sized.
Medium sized, yep.
And we're gonna get that all diced up a little bit.
And just for you all to know, this is enough for 4 stuffed mushrooms.
And I have to say this for legal purposes, but please don't try these knife skills at home. Okay, these are for professionals.
Yeah, okay. We're trying to start a
We don't,
YouTube channel.
We don't want any accidents.
Any accidents, yeah.
We're not gonna throw any salt in there because of our secret ingredient.
There it is, folks.
But we will throw some pepper.
It does already.
But you know that salt flavors the food. And pepper changes the complexion.
Ooh.
Thank you. Hi. Thank you.
It romances the food.
Did you get that?
I did.
Get these going for a little while. Once they get a little bit cooked down, we'll put the mushrooms in there. The pre-sliced mushrooms.
Okay. Yep.
You can buy regular mushrooms and slice them yourself, but who's got the time?
Who's got the time? When you're an influencer, it's,
When you have to make all these videos.
who really has the time? And you know, it's just one of those meals, right? It's so flavorful and savory, but as you guys can see, there's not many ingredients. It really is just simple and good. So you're doing kind of a rough chop with
No
this.
knife skills needed here. We're just rough chopping this stuff up. Mushrooms are one of those things that really break down when you cook them. So they actually shrink, break down, lose all their water. And it's nice to evaporate that water off there. It gives the rest of the dish a nice flavor.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna let that cook down for a little bit more. Oh, we got stop this. Okay, here we are at the pot roast, and we're gonna release the pressure here on the pot roast. So we're going to hit the venting over to vent, and
Wow.
now some people would like to put their face down there and get a nice little facial like that. Right? It feels good actually in the, it feels good. It feels good in the winter, especially when it's snowing outside. And so I like to do that. In the winter, not the summer. And you're just going to let that go off like that. And I'm going to throw the mushrooms in here. That's probably about 2 cups of mushrooms, okay, for you folks who are measuring.
Don't worry, that's all
One
gonna be.
package.
That's all gonna be for them on the.
This was 8 ounces of mushrooms right here. We're throwing in there 8 ounces. Whoop, we missed one. You think I can do it? Oh, baby! That's what I'm talking about. Turn it up a little, medium high, get this stuff going. You're gonna see a lot of liquid in there, don't be worried. Let it evaporate. And what's that?
John is someone who really likes to clean as he goes. It's part of the. But as you can see, this doesn't make a whole lot of mess. Again, going back to the simplicity in the ingredients. What do you guys think?
Pepper, whatever.
The artist behind you is encouraging me to take really phenomenal photographs.
Oh.
This is behind the
Okay.
scenes. Special TV.
I'm gonna add a little bit of the secret ingredient
All
here.
right. I was gonna turn it back to Alan and Mom, but
Never show the fucking situation.
oh. Now, how much of that teriyaki are you thinking here?
Well, this is a new jar, but we're just throwing a little bit in there because teriyaki, we're probably throwing about, I don't know, maybe a tablespoon, maybe a tablespoon and a half, because teriyaki can be overpowering, and you only want a subtle hint of this. And now I'm going to go to stirring it traditionally.
So something changed in the recipe. I thought the teriyaki got brushed in the mushrooms.
Hello,
Oh,
we're filming.
Did I just
We're,
notice?
we're filming. We're filming. What are we doing here?
I'm sorry. I remember your big.
I don't understand. If you can't,
If you can't respect,
We're wasting tape here, people. Stop mentioning the mistakes.
if you can't, it's
No one would know if you didn't point it out.
it's not a mistake.
Now we have to edit all of that.
Not even pay attention to
Just
me.
let that go. Let that go a little bit. Let it cook up. Let it get nice. And
and we're on a
somebody,
medium,
yeah, we're on a medium. What high?
medium high.
Yeah. You know, somebody mentioned that. I think that was Renata. Mentioned that perhaps there's some
Additional teriyaki.
additional teriyaki. I was getting to that. And now I'll get it to it now. Thank you so much.
Trying to make up for my.
Thank you.
My
What we
faux
do
pas.
here now is we take some of this teriyaki and we just brush it ever so gently in here because these mushrooms are delicate.
Mm.
You know, and you just get them in there. And get it in there. And that's it. You don't want too much because it can be overpowering. It can be overpowering. Okay. So that's it. We're waiting for this here. It's getting nice and cooked up here.
Just keep moving from seat to seat.
We want to just get it to a simmer here, so we might want to take it down to a little medium low, just to get a little simmer. And while that works on that, I'm having a sip of beer. And this, you want to come over here and see this, even though it's not part of the gig.
Sure.
Voila.
Wow.
And down deep in there is a big ass hunk of meat.
Yankee pot roast for the Patriots.
Oh, Yankee pot roast for the Patriots fans.
Yankee pot roast from Mackie, Mac the Knife. Loves that pot roast.
He does love that pot roast, Mac the
Good.
Knife.
New Yankee.
He of Alabama.
It's the little things.
Yes.
He's never been north of the Mason-Dixon. He loves our Yankee pot roast.
All right.
The little things that make them.
So I have preheated my oven at 350 degrees.
Okay.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna add some breadcrumbs and some Romano cheese to the mixture, and we're gonna let it set a little bit. Sometimes I will put an egg in there to bind it and beat up an egg, but I gotta let it cool down to do that. I found that we really don't need the egg. A lot of the liquid in here actually binds it all together anyway, so we really don't need the egg.
Excellent.
So that was about, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. And it looks like it's pretty good here.
Dad, where did you find this recipe?
Well, I took it off. It was an old man wandering the streets, and he told me that somebody had mentioned that he had a great recipe for mushrooms, and I told him that if he told me the recipe, I would make him $1 million air. And he told me the recipe, and I said, "See you later. I'm going to take it and make it for my family."
Yes. No. This is one of John Janus's originals.
Yeah, it all comes from the mind. All you got to do, okay, is not be constricted on like recipes or any kind of ingredients that you have. If a recipe calls for broccoli and you don't have it, throw green beans in there, or Brussels sprouts or cauliflower. It doesn't matter. It's all going to taste great. All the seasonings are going to work. Seasonings. Sorry. And everything's going to. Don't worry. Why do we have to bring it to the beer?
Well, you mentioned earlier it's 5:15.
So
Now it's 5:38.
usually growing up, Dad would look into the refrigerator, and what would seemingly look like an empty fridge, he would find 3 or 4 ingredients and toss something together for dinner. And most of the time, it was absolutely delicious. I'm sorry. There were some flops. You're not just gonna pull stuff out of here.
Father's throat on.
You're not just gonna.
Oh my
I'm trying to debut.
I'm just trying to be honest. Listen, not every time
You
that
gotta
you.
break a few eggs to make it all.
Exactly, and that's what you did. I'll say it was a very, very small portion that were like, okay.
Good recovery.
Yeah.
He's never gotten a higher than a 3 at my Yelp review.
But the problem
It's
with
usually the housing,
Right.
The lodging that brings the Yelp review down. It's never the food.
right.
Often what's playing on television. Steelers.
Tomorrow will be the Steelers. Tonight will be the Patriots. It pains me to put them on the TV. I hope it doesn't break. But,
Hey now.
No, I love the Patriots.
Five
And
class.
Mac Jones.
5-star.
What did Cam Newton call him? Mac and cheese? Come on.
What?
Come on. What is that?
That guy was a joke. That guy was a joke.
Let's not politicize.
Mac the knife.
Let's not politicize this.
But in all honesty, the man is the greatest cook I've ever seen.
He is. He's very good.
All
Really
right.
good.
All right, enough of that. We have a pan. It's a 12 by 13 pan.
Yep.
It's a half-size, full-size pan. But this is what we sent up the mushrooms in a full-size pan when you guys, gals, went away. And so what I'll do is I'll take some of this cooking spray and spray the bottom of the pan. So the mushrooms don't stick. And what I'll do is I will throw probably a tablespoon of cheese in there and some breadcrumbs. Probably maybe a cup and a half. And you can adjust it too based on the liquid that's in there. If it's not getting absorbed, if it's not becoming sort of like a patty in a way, then you can adjust it to add more breadcrumbs or cheese.
Yeah, that'll soak up the
Yeah, exactly.
the liquid there.
Well, it's starting. I think I need a few more, a little more breadcrumbs. Let's see where that comes. And I'll throw more cheese in there. What the heck, right? Finish it up. There we go.
Dad definitely taught me to take chances in the kitchen because you gotta not be afraid to try stuff. And a lot of times it were these kind of risks and just having fun putting things together that is why these awesome tasting dishes have come together.
Well, that's why Jessica makes all these great dishes for you folks, all you sugar-eskies out there. And yeah, she takes chances, and you have to if you're going to cook. You don't have to follow any recipes per se. We're not baking. Baking is rocket science. This is not rocket science.
Baking's a whole different game.
You can always figure it out with this stuff. So what I do is I'll press it down here, put it in like almost like a frittata in a way, right? And so what I'll do is I'll let that just cook a little bit, just to absorb. And what that's going to do is we're going to I cut this in 4 quarters, and then I'll have a quarter for each one of our mushrooms.
Perfect.
And that should be enough. And then we also have some grated cheddar cheese that we put on there.
Oh yeah, I gotta have that.
And since I didn't buy the prepackaged cheddar cheese,
You're gonna have to grate
I'm
it.
gonna have to grate it. And that's fine. I just hate it. I like to buy packaged stuff and just have it done for me.
I know. So we're 28 minutes in, and so the cheese is going to go on, and then you're gonna stuff the mushrooms and bake them essentially.
Bake them. Yep, we're almost ready to go because you only have to bake these for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, and that's key. And I'll get into that later, but if you bake these for too long, they actually implode and they kind of like lose their shape. And then you've got just like a mishmash of stuffing and mushrooms that what you really want to have is this,
Right.
Soft and
Put together.
put together so that when you take it and present it on a plate, it actually looks like a stuffed mushroom.
Right,
So
right.
That's that.
Yeah, mushrooms can be a little bit finicky, for sure. All right, so I think maybe we'll take a pause and then we'll wrap up
Yeah, take a pause.
We're gonna cut it here. Essentially, yeah, what's happening is Dad's gonna put some cheese in
Did
here.
you say you were going to cut the cheese here?
That's a wrap, folks.
Set, as I say, set up pretty good. So what you can do is just kind of maybe just make a couple of It never works out, believe me. It's all over the place. And you can take your pan. Pop it in there like that.
Nice.
Get it in there so it gets down in there.
Yeah, kind of pack it in a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And then you got your other. Here's another quarter. You can probably stop now. Just get it.
No, that's awesome. So fill those up, and then now do you put the cheese on
I'll put the cheese on last.
last? Okay. So you don't bake it, then take it out, then put the cheese on.
You know, you could do that if you find that the cheese is getting too well done before it comes out, but I don't think that's going to be the case. It'll be good and melty, though, I'll tell you that much. It
Okay.
gets really melted.
Nice.
Might even use a little more breadcrumbs and maybe some cheese, but it should come out really nice and moist. And like I said, even if you have leftover, don't overdo it. If you have leftover, eat it out.
Yeah.
Eat it out of the pan.
Yeah.
It's all good.
That's also a crowd favorite here.
Yeah,
We like to eat as we go.
Yeah, don't overdo it. So we do have a little extra. Not a big deal.
Yes.
Put that aside. We can stuff another mushroom later. Whatever.
Eat it when they all come out together. Yeah. That will not go to waste.
No, it won't go to waste. Now all I want to do is just put some cheddar cheese on the top. And since we have it oiled on the bottom, you don't have to worry about the cheese going down there. That's okay. It's not going to burn.
Oh, gotcha.
Sometimes-
That's why that's a key.
Sometimes it will burn. Now here's the thing. Sometimes I cover it, sometimes I don't. I'm going to cover it for 10 minutes and then take the cover off and see how it looks, and maybe finish it off and brown the cheese a little bit for 5 minutes. So I think it's 15 minutes. I think will be good. Cover it with a little tin foil, whatever you got, whatever covers you got.
Perfect. Pop it in for 10.
Plop it in there for 10. We'll set our timer.
All right.
I don't measure anything, but I do set timers.
Timers are key. All right, everyone. That about wraps it up. Woo! Love you all.
Check this out.
About 5 minutes since you took the cover off.
And there you go.
Wow. Wow.
JJ's famous stuffed mushroom recipe for your enjoyment.
Yay!
Woo!
That concludes the video.
Tune in next week for the next episode of Hearth and Harp. You haven't seen the harp part yet, but you'll
It'll
see it
come.
later.
I got it. I got a bit. Woo!
Bye.